holding 2 positions in this committee. So, Betty John Berno Pepe Lutan. Next slide. That's how Luke Jolu Levan up and go eho. The Palm Building Committee found a church, not a stadium. Who they mon visit to Luke Leha. Bunjay Pujon at the Cape offer, Johan. So we put an offer in Luke no Yalu Church could pay Moshai. But Mojo up and go all Lu Orly. Next slide. This church was sold to another church. So, building committee, let's start focusing on building. I think it's our God's plan for us to stay here on our land here. So, focus at the think about building a new church. Get approval to build a concept plan. At the Hmong Alliance site plan. Next slide. Let's reach out to engineer who concept site plan with that to loop loudly call the Palm Building Committee town. At the okay, concept no. Let's start finding contractors. Next slide. So, call know your concept plan. Good. Or that tall loop loudly. Shall see the non of the Belu Church or Lu Church on the Shan Supe Hon of the where the new church building is going to be, along with the parking lot. Next slide. The original design group, Palm Building Committee drew up. This is not from an engineer or architect. No, you're a bit called special talent group, more on the site. So this was the original concept. Okay, next slide. Monjolu Yi up and go aha. Who thought about go G to contractors. We only receive callbacks from about 3. Of the 3, every single one wanted about $3,000 to do an estimate. Or some talk of pound estimate. So Petsale approach we don't share pay your or call official site plan to your cost the cheap pound, let's share pay your proceed with the estimate of about 3,000. So and let's pray about it and let's think about it. So next slide. So that takes us to around Lu Xiangli Ha, Tanjoha, Natonzia to Monjo, upstate Hmong Alliance Church. And they found out that had helped build the church for them. So South Carolina, and we have been working hard with him to come up with ideas, come up with things that will help us to the next steps. So Natale agreed Lupante Ponjeno to be our general contractor. Monjo, next slide. March, Luli Tashino, we received like contract in Sancho Pek, Ninchata, the architect, the engineer, like site plan, how you think Luche on the Sancho Pek. So Luchon Tsilo has agreed and has approved Jope Palm Building Committee to proceed with like contract, no? So we have signed a contract, and this week that we will be working with Nexus, the Lu company, to begin drawing the new church and drawing the site plan for for our church and our congregation. So next slide. So this is the new concept, the feet by 100 feet. It probably makes a lot more sense than like original draw, because we took out a lot of wasted space, a lot of hallways, a lot of things that was just a waste. So we wanted to utilize the space a little bit more, have a few more classrooms, possibly a DMD worship room, an office for a pastor. And in this concept, we also have a second level. The second level will have 2 more offices for future pastors, a conference room, and a couple of classrooms for older youth or adults. This is called Concept 1. Next slide. This is another rendering of 3D on what possibly it could look like. Next slide. So Panoa is another concept que come up with. A second level is a little bit difficult for so we are just thinking about all options at this point. So this is another concept. Expand out where we can fit the youth, where we can fit the classrooms, the offices. So this is a little bit bigger and will cost more. Expand out versus up. Next slide. So this is again the 3D rendering of possibly if we expand out and we go with this concept, that's what it would look like. Next slide. This is the lobby area. A little coffee area. Coffee. So you'll see if you keep going straight, that will be to the worship hall. If you go to the left side, that will be the classrooms. Right, it's an open area. Okay. Next slide. Oh, that's it? Okay. So, what are the next steps? Well, for starters, make your tax refunds. Don't spend it. Your vacation plans this year, don't take it. We're going to need all that money. But honestly, we are just going to need a lot of prayers. This is a big project. But it's all of us. So it's going to require every single one of us to step up to see this come into fruition. So for next steps, through architect, through engineer, they will be completing the drawings for us, hopefully within a month or 2 months. The Orchard Alliance, and we will get an estimate on how much it's going to actually cost at that point. And from there, so that's where we are, and that's where we're going. So hopefully you guys are ready to take this journey with all of us. Okay? Are there any questions? Okay, thank you guys.